That's right, it's that time of the month where we do the top 10 characters for the month of April 2021. I just want to firstly give everyone a shout out who came out last month and liked my video. Boy, one of my most liked videos for the month, and we're going to get right into it. Now, this month's list is going to be a little bit different because what I'm thinking about the most in this video is DD4 and also the Doom raids. It seems to be where my focus is currently in the game. And I want to just kind of go from there because the Doom raids are very difficult and they require skill. And so I'm just going to, spoiler alert, I put Night Nurse on this list, and I don't even know if she belongs on the list, but because there's really not a lot to work with on skill, we had to put Night Nurse on the list. So we're going to talk about that. And so we're going to have a little bit more than 10 characters on this list. We're going to have actually 15. And we're also going to be looking at the teams that they're in. So let's get started with Symbiote Spider-Man. And symbiotes are the best. I'm just going to say, whether you're in DD2 or DD3 or DD4, you're going to need these guys. And Symbiote Spider-Man is the leader of the symbiotes. Also, quite amazing is Anti-Venom. He doesn't make the list, but because I just wanted to put one symbiote on here, we can talk about the entire team. And also, Offensive War Team, they're countering some really strong teams. I recently was able to take on an Emma Rodders with Doom. One shot with symbiotes. They're also working well against Sinister 6. And I use them every day inside of the Doom raids for the bio nodes, which is interesting that how important they are overall in this game is immense. The Dark Dimension, raids, Offense on War, they're the best. I can't say enough good things about symbiotes. Of course, now you're probably wondering why I have Skirmisher. I think I normally run Raider on Symbiote Spider-Man, but I ran Skirmisher on him only for Dark Dimension 4. I was running into some problems landing the defense down, and I was needing so Anti-Venom could ping them so they could get the defense up. I needed that extra focus because there was a couple waves where it was nearly impossible without landing that defense down. So I did switch it over to Skirmisher. I think Raider for most people is going to be the best choice. And as far as T4s, unfortunately, you really need all of them, but the most important of all the T4s is going to be his passive, of course, and that's the one to start with. Next on the list, and in no particular order, is going to be Emma. And Emma is an amazing character. I'm going to say this right now. She's my second favorite character in the game. My favorite character in the game right now is Silver Surfer. Big surprise, right? But Emma is my second favorite character just because of her utility and flexibility on her kit. Minus 10% speed makes her immensely important in RTA arena. And also, I did get good use out of her DD4, although I feel like she's a second run DD4 character, but her kit also seems to be inflation proof to a certain degree because she's not really stat based necessarily. Her turn the tables, blows up characters using the other team, right? All right. Her cleanse is going to be good regardless of her stats. Her passive, lowering 10% speed. That being said, she also has very good stats, and that's why healer, she's pretty annoying on defense and Alliance War as healer. That's why most people have put the healer ISO 8 class. Again, you're going to need pretty much all of the T4s on her, probably with the exception of her basic. That one probably is the most optional, but I would look at the special and the ultimate first. Next, Phoenix. Have to put Phoenix on this list just because of her importance in Dark Dimension 3 and in 4 for that matter. The Dark Phoenix mode is just quite good when she goes into the Dark Phoenix mode, and then her middle ability does Health Steal, which is very, very amazing in doing large amounts of damage in Dark Dimension 3. Pretty much at the time when Dark Dimension 3 came out, she was the most important character for Dark Dimensions. He's also a 6-star unlock. I do find that her usefulness is not as much anymore, but I am getting quite good use with her with Silver Surfer. Surfer gets offense up when any of his allies die, and Phoenix dies and she becomes Dark Phoenix, and Dark Phoenix is just straight savage, absolutely amazing. As far as her T4s, I think the most important T4 to start off with is her her passive without a doubt. And I guess her basic attack is a little bit optional. Her ISO 8 is not that important. I did Striker on her. Striker seems to work okay when she's in her Phoenix form, but when she goes into the Dark Phoenix form, it no longer, she doesn't get the benefits of the ISO 8 class. She still gets the stats because the stats are based off of her pre-summoned form. Let's go to the next character, Hela. I love Hela. Let me talk about why I love Hela. I love Hela because she's an amazing character by herself, and she spreads negative effects everywhere. I am absolutely love using her right now with Silver Surfer. Have I said Silver Surfer a couple times in this video? I think I'm going to say Silver Surfer a lot, but I love using Hela with Silver Surfer, especially in the Mystic nodes in the Doom Raid, where she can just spread that heal block. I'm using her in Dark Dimension 4, and she's amazing. She's a little bit pricey as far as materials, T15 cost, but she's immensely valuable in DD3 and DD4. So Hela herself is amazing. The real beauty of her is the Greg, her undead Asgardian summon, which we affectionately refer to as Greg. Ah, boy. And one of my favorite things to do with Greg and Hela is to pair them up with MINN-ERVA. And if Hela dies and the original undead Asgardian survives and MINN-ERVA is able to revive Hela, suddenly you have a situation with two Gregs. And that was, I believe, most of the people that were able to successfully one-shot the Cosmic nodes in DD4 were using the double Greg strategy with MINN-ERVA. That being said, what else makes Hela important is that she's a villain mystic controller, so she helps you unlock Phoenix. Asgardians help you unlock Black Bolt, and Black Bolt helps you unlock Ebony Maw. This is a good thing. Hela is a must-have character. I love her, and she's quite amazing. Now, I will say in War, I'm no longer using Hela on defense. I believe the Greg creates problems with Jubilee's passive and Carnage's passive, where basically Astonishing X-Men can run over Asgardians as well as symbiotes. So I have just switched Hela to offense, and I'm using her with either ZEMO or with a Supernatural. The Hela Natural team is quite amazing. I love it. They are so good. They punch up drastically. She's the best. Believe me, she's amazing. Let's move on. And then, of course, we use Raider. And then as far as T4s, I believe her passive and her ultimate are going to be the two of most importance. Probably can skip the basic if you want to. Let's move on. Ebony Maw. Okay, so Ebony Maw is on the list. I didn't put Thanos on the list. It's not that Thanos shouldn't be on the list. He could be on the list, but it's just I want to just talk. Ebony Maw is definitely of higher importance in more game modes to me than the rest of the Black Order team. Still, Black Order is the dominant arena team. Doom is starting to creep in there a little bit. And then also the most effective offensive war team is still Black Order. But Ebony Maw takes it to another level for his usefulness inside of raids in Dark Dimension. Specifically in Dark Dimension, his Force Transfusion, his ultimate is the best in doing massive amounts of damage and basically healing up the whole team. Pretty much a must-have character for Dark Dimension 3 and Dark Dimension 4, in my opinion. And he's quite good inside of the Doom raids with Thanos. And then, of course, I mean, he's just getting used everywhere. So this is an amazing character. As far as ISO 8, I prefer to use Skirmisher on him. Some people do use Healer, but I prefer Skirmisher on him. The Healer I don't like as much because healing is the Force Transfusion is Health Steal, and that it doesn't get the benefit of healing ISO 8 class. It's excluded from that, but he's still, I can see why people would use Healer, but I prefer Skirmisher on him. And then as far as T4 is the most important going to be his special and his ultimate. And you probably end up doing all four, but you can save the passive and the basic for later. Let's move on. Baron Zemo. Okay, so there's two reasons why I put him on this list. One is because he wrecks nerds in RTA. He's Mr. Unfun Pants. Number two, I like him because I love his little fur on the side. I just think that's the best. And lastly, I think he's skill. And it was hard to, I went through and I said, okay, who do I want to put on this list that is actually skill? And ZEMO is on this list. Night Nurse is on this list. And I didn't have room, but I really wanted to put Red Guardian on this list as well. I don't get as much use out of Red Guardian everywhere, but ZEMO I definitely use on the skill nodes inside of the Doom raids. I did take him into Dark Dimension 4. However, the global nodes in Dark Dimension 4 really are just about Mr. Sinister in Ghost. And my experience with the global nodes in Dark Dimension 4 was that it was pretty much Mr. Sinister and Ghost doing all the work. I love this guy. Dude, he is one of the vital characters going forward, I believe, in Arena for stripping away all the positive effects early in the match and then going very fast and putting out ability block on key characters like your opposing ZEMO or Doom, because that's one of the things that Doom has a problem with is ability block, and ZEMO's going very early and putting the ability block is amazing. He is a force to be reckoned with on offense in war with Red Skull. I love this guy. As far as T4s, I think his passive is the most important one, without a doubt, his passive. And then Raider is the most common. That's what I use for the ISO 8. Let's move on. Mr. Sinister. Now, I was worried about Mr. Sinister a little bit because he's kind of a slower character, and he also falls victim to ability block. But this guy was absolutely vital, in my opinion, in Dark Dimension 4 in creating a clone army and just creating all kinds of negative status effects and then having Ghost extend them. It was a lot of fun. Also, to a certain degree, he's inflation proof. So Silver Surfer is the strongest character in the game right now, let's say. Guess who can clone him and have a stronger Silver Surfer? I've got footage of my opponent cloning my Silver Surfer, which was 3-star, and then their Silver Surfer had stats based off of Mr. Sinister. Of course, the clones have reduced stats, but just destroying me with using my clone Silver Surfer. So that being said, whatever the next latest and greatest best character that comes out, Mr. Sinister can clone them, right? He's just kind of slow. He's prone to ability block. As far as T4s, you need his passive and his ultimate. I think the ultimate's really important because when you put the T4 on the ultimate, when he clones somebody, they will have 7775 stats as well. And then healer makes the most sense for ISO. Next is Doc Ock. Oh my God. This guy, I underestimated. I just want to say I really underestimated this guy and his importance. And what I think I underestimated the most on him is two things. Is this improved gain 10,000% resistance against offense down. That is a big deal, specifically against Black Order, because Ebony Maw puts offense down and so does Proxima, and just having Doc Ock on your team prevents that from happening. And then his special flipping buffs is a big deal. This guy is quite good, and he's plug and play. He's proving to be very, very important on defense and war and pretty much a one-man team. Of course, he works with Chargeable Sinister 6, but you can put him in multiple different places. I love this guy. He's also pretty much vital, in my opinion, for DD4 and also the Doom raids. Healer is the ISO 8 class to put on it without a doubt, and his most important T4 is going to be his passive and then his special. Probably, and then I skipped his basic. I don't think you really need his basic. Anyways, let's go to the next character, MINN-ERVA. Okay, and MINN-ERVA's been around a long time, and I just want to say that I kind of put her in here because I'm surprised how much I use her every single day. I do use her every day, and recently I did the T4 on her passive. For the longest time, saying, you don't need any T4s on MINN-ERVA. This has been very helpful in DD4. On Ally Def, Phil Seabar, it went from 20% to 25%. And when MINN-ERVA is paired up with Hela, the Greg, the undead Asgardian, dies all the time. And this made a huge difference for me in DD4. That being said, one of the best plug-and-play characters, the best healer in the game for a long time. I'm just completely blown away by her usefulness, and she's been out for several years. I just can't not put MINN-ERVA on this list because I love her. She's vital in Dark Dimension 2, 3, and 4, and I do use her inside of the Doom Raids. And she also plugs and play very well, so she is definitely a character that merits being on this list. And you can get away with doing no T4s on her if you want to. I recently did her passive, and I've seen a tremendous amount of value in DD4. I wish I would have done it a long time ago. Let's go to the next one, Silver Surfer. Best character in the game. I'm just saying, best character in the game. I have a 4/4 Silver Surfer. I can't even wrap my head around how good he's going to be at higher yellow stars and high red stars. This guy does everything right. I've been running him in DD4, and when my run goes bad, he's the last guy standing. His basic attack is probably the best basic attack in the game. I mean, if you ability block Silver Surfer, guess what? When he takes a turn, he's kicking that ability block back to somebody else. If you blind Silver Surfer, you do your basic attack and you're kicking that blind back to someone else. This is a big deal. There's so many things about this kit and this character, how he ramps up in speed, all of how he has like pretty much like an anti-Black Order kit. He's plug and play. He works everywhere. He is the real deal. Best character in the game. I got to say, I just unlocked Doom, and I'm more excited about Silver Surfer than Doom. He is the real deal, guys. I'm telling you, he's so good. As far as T4s, you need his passive and his basic. The one that and then you do his ultimate. The one that you can do last is his special, but you're going to probably need all the T4s on him. You're going to want to max him out as soon as possible. Big shout out to Reminex. I think he's paid for me to crack in on this guy. Then anytime I see offers, it's been prepaid for because people are like, dude, don't go cheap on this guy. That's what other people do. Because I tend to be sometimes a little bit frugal, and people are like, nope. So thank you, Reminex, because that's how strongly Reminex feels about him. He's paying for my crackedness. Is that a word? Striker is the ISO 8 class for this character here, without a doubt. Let's move on. Ghost. Oh my God, I love Ghost. Plug and play character. She is scary on defense and war. She is vital, in my opinion, to DD4. I imagine she's immensely helpful in DD3 as well. It used to be DD3 is trash, by the way. That's not a fun game mode still today. But before in the past it was just all about Phoenix, but now Ghost is a reasonable solution. People are telling me they're having a lot better luck in the global nodes in DD3, which is usually the most horrific experience I've had in any video game I've ever played. That may be an exaggeration, but it's pretty terrible. As far as T4s, you got the passive and the ultimate, and I don't see any reason to do the basic or the special. And then because of her turn meter rewind on her basic striker is the way to go as far as ISO 8, without a doubt. Let's move on to the next character, Night Nurse. All right, I put Night Nurse on this list for two reasons. One, because she's a skill character, and there's really not... something's missing on this skill. I believe we're going to be getting more skill characters for the Doom Raids in skill. And I made a video about the characters I'm using in skill. I'm using Taskmaster, Proxima, ZEMO, Night Nurse, and Red Guardian. And without a doubt, Night Nurse and Red Guardian are kind of carrying the team as far as survivability. And Night Nurse, that's the main reason why she's on the list. She's somewhat plug and play, but I really need to talk about the Shadowlands team. And I didn't put anybody else on this list from the Shadowlands team, which I actually thought about putting White Tiger on this list, but I already went over the 10. And I just didn't have enough slots. And there were so many characters I wanted to talk about. Shadowlands is probably the second best offensive war team in the game, second only to Black Order. They destroy everything. Specifically, seem to be a hard counter to Marauders, without a doubt. And Night Nurse is the character to upgrade. probably first because she can get used in the raids, and then secondly, I would say White Tiger, and then from there, Moon Knight, and then what you do with Elektra and Daredevil is kind of up to you. Healer for sure, and I have found all 3 of her T4s, everything but her basic, to be highly effective. Specifically, her passive is the best. I had to put a skill character on this list. She was the probably, it's hard for me to say that she's like one of the best. She's one of the more useful characters in the game right now, given how difficult skill is in the Doom raids. Let's move on. Next, we have to talk about Bishop. I like Bishop. The reason why I put Bishop on this list was mostly so I could talk about Astonishing X-Men and how good they are. And I feel Bishop is the superstar on this team as far as damage and just blowing up people and being a pre-taunting tank. Now, as far as a defensive tank character, in some ways I believe Red Guardian is better, but this guy does damage and he wrecks nerds. He's mind-blowing how good he is. I'm getting used for him. Also in the Doom raids. And please, Scopely, I only need 1 more shard. Seems like I've been stuck at 199 out of 200 for a minute. I know a lot of people are considering using promotion credits on this guy. I got lucky and I pulled a 6 red. And so that's something to think about. As far as T4s, without a doubt, it's going to be his passive. And then just because his ultimate goes off so frequently, like all the time, and turn cooldown is just amazing, by the way. That's another one to consider. As far as ISO 8, I believe that there's 2 correct ways to put ISOs on him. I kind of flip-flop between Skirmisher and Striker. The Striker, I think, is best when you have a high red star Bishop, because he just you take advantage of Jubilee's passive with a lot of double and triple attacks and getting all those assists. It's quite good, and he just does a bunch of damage and getting the extra damage boost and then getting the extra ISO 8 attack, and some people swear by it. On the other hand, I actually, on paper, I kind of prefer the Skirmisher. And the reason why I prefer the Skirmisher is because he does a lot of counterattacks. And when he's counterattacking, he's applying the vulnerable, which is a big deal. So, I think that's something else to keep in mind, is that he does a bunch of counterattacks. And so the Skirmisher makes a lot of sense. And I keep changing my mind on which one I like better. And I've definitely gone between the 2. Anyways, let's move on. Next on the list is Dr. Doom. And let me just say this. I think there's a couple characters, like right now in Blitz, I have Dr. Doom with 4 trash characters. Guess what? They win. Silver Surfer with 4 trash characters. Guess what? They always win. 8.3. So Dr. Doom is in that category. Now, of course, he's definitely one of the best characters in the game. I think that there's 2 things that I will say about Dr. Doom, is that 1, I'm more excited about Silver Surfer than I am about Dr. Doom. And of course, I have a baby Doom right now. And secondly, I feel like when Ultron came out, that moved me more than Dr. Doom. He doesn't seem to be as dominant and impressive as Ultron was when Ultron came out. But yet still, he's on this list. He's definitely a top 10 character. He is beatable, but I've been using him on offense in Alliance War with Invisible Woman, with like Namor, and they win, always win. And I just wonder if we are so obsessed with having defensive teams win, and sometimes it just doesn't happen, right? Maybe he's an offensive war character. I don't know. But typically he gets placed on defense and war with Marauders, or there's some combinations of that. Anyways, he definitely is a top 10 character, but I have to say he's a little. I've been a little bit underwhelmed with him, frankly, and I'm still not sure of his arena viability. I will let you know. More videos to follow. I think I need to do more testing when I get him fully upgraded, when I finish my second run of Dark Dimension 4. I'll report back to you and let you know. But right now, Baby Doom is only good for me in Doom raids. He's amazing in Doom raids because he's Mystic and Tech, so he can go through 2 different sections of the Doom Raids, and he's quite good on offense in Alliance War. Next on the list is Longshot. Now, boy, X Factor is something, and he's really... X Factor is really good. They're passive with the barrier regeneration, the turn meter, and I need to see how this team works with Polaris and Multiple Man. Oh my God! And this is Symbiotes 2.0 without a doubt, and I can't not talk about Longshot and the X Factor. Now, I don't know if I'm as enthusiastic to say he's like the best character game or that he's, second best character game to Silver Surfer. It does seem to me that a lot of his kit is around stats and turn meter. So we have to see how this is going to play out. But don't sleep on Longshot. And then also I want to say I did actually spend the gold promotion credits to take him to 6 red. And part of that was because Longshot is inside of those event orbs for the Multiple Men campaign. And so I kind of preempted, hoping I'm going to get these shards here quickly, and I'll have a 6/6 Longshot. Don't sleep on this guy. All right, that was it. Beast is not on the list because I talked about the importance of Astonishing X-Men. Yes, there was more than 10 characters. I believe there was 15 characters on this list, and the part of that reason is that Dark Dimension 4 and the Doom Raids require more than 10 characters. Like Dark Dimension 4 technically requires 16 characters, and the Doom Raids require 5 teams at a minimum. So maybe it's more than that. So I feel like there just wasn't enough space to only include 10 characters. I did 15. And I'm sure there's some other characters that maybe you would have put on this list. I got to say there's some honorable mentions that didn't make it here. Namely, I'm thinking of Black Bolt and Ultron. Who do you think should be on the list? Put it down in the comment section. But guess what time it is? That's right. It's time for the giveaway. I really hope you liked this video today, because if you did, you are in luck. For every single person that likes this video, you will be getting for free in your account an 8 Red Star Salmon Surfer. This is not a scam. I don't know about you, but I prefer this look right here. I don't know how great it is to go surfing naked anyways, and it just seems appropriate that he would have salmon shorts. What do you think? Big shout out to Ari for posting this in my Discord. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section, and as always, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming. Bye!